Sijuzi tumesikia kuna haste happen Equity. Ama watu wamefanya hiyo. Are we solving crime?
Don't say it. Moving forward, Marquette's daughter. Juzi ametusi watu kwa live kweli. And then I recently saw a video. She's crying. I'm apologizing. I'm like, Kellen, I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. Blah 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 blah.
Bude mimi na believing dem akiona chali yake maybe ana struggle. By the way, kama umetoka naye kwa scratch haiwezi kuacha by the way. Wallahi.
Men can lie. I think mtu akipata pesa, it's very hard to find a balance between now I'm in a completely new world and the world yenye nimeacha is also a different one.
Where were you when I was getting the money?
Oh. Hey, Candy, no.
I'm asking this.
Wow. Guys, for more stories about traditional myths and misconceptions, please follow DISDAT PODCAST.
What?
And be sure to bring
Nime research.
The podcast has taken another shift, yeah?
Okay.
DISDAT.
Hello there, welcome if you're new, welcome back if you are an OG. Thank you so much for rocking with us. And today I'm not alone. Oh, my name is Shalil and I have the one, the only, the most beautiful girl in the entire world.
K.
We are not alone, Candy. We are with what?
And we have today tujafanywa DISDAT. Because the ghosts seemed to have disappeared and going to help other people in a different universe. But we've welcomed we've got some guys today who goes by the name of
Peter Njoroge.
Hi Peter.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
So our ghosts normally wanasemanga
DISDAT.
So you want to say
DISDAT.
Okay. Try
whispering.
DISDAT.
Wonderful.
Okay, a good one.
Karibu sana kwa show yetu.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have you.
Hata mimi nasikia fiti.
Yeah. Already. Hapa tunaongea karibu tunafukuzwa. So I hope you're ready for that.
I'm ready, very ready.
Okay.
How are you, Candy?
Candy has been good. Candy, me I'm still waiting for siulizwi. Siulizwi.
Don't worry, we still have this week.
Thank you.
Next week, you know.
Let me patience.
And if not, it's still fine. We're doing this together. Okay. No, we'll see whether we'll be in this together.
Sikuaniki on air lakini you were like, how what is going on your end?
Troja next week.
Ameanza kichwa ngumu. Mwambie nje.
Ameanza kuongea vibaya. Usingoje tu next week ishi.
So we know how they're coming. Tutadil nao venye wakijaribu hiyo kitu. Ndio hiyo sasa.
So, tunapeleka 6 million kanisani.
Chai, hiyo kitu ni numero.
Peter, unapeleka 6 million kanisani.
6 meter. 6 meter kanisani. Na inapita wapi? First of all.
I know, mbona tuku intervene katikati. Why did I not get in? Alafu unajua it's funny anasema. The son and bishte yake. Juu umetoka kuhustle wapi? Hiyo haste walipiga after wamepanga mikakati aje. Akatrust madhe. Timadhe before nitumie napeleka kani. With which government?
Pata shamwandika.
I know.
Ni moja tu ya Zakayo tu.
Ya Zakayo pesa itokee ikose kwenda.
Like hiyo barabara walipita gani hiyo yenye watu watawaoni.
Kwa paper bag.
But again ni mama mboga, so easy vitu anajua. She knows how to keep things well.
Lakini wase not to hide it. We have mama mboga fulani from our place. That mama ukimwangalia venye anakaanga tu amechoka hata she's always freestyle. Freestyle. Sa itakuanga was unapata nao tao. Na freestyle venye unakaanga ukiamka tilo na shinda hapo nje nikitafuta kusengenya watu wanapita venye unakaanga. That's how she'll dress. But that lady, she's loaded with like 300 plus. Just going to the bank. Hata uwezi msuspect. Mama nikusaidie, nikubaie food leo. She's anavanga tu venye anataka, loaded with cash, taking it to the bank. So, talking of this mama mboga and how knowing where to put and hide.
Sijui kwa nini mnasahau, like kitambo tukiwa watoi. Unajua watoi ndio walikuwa nabeba do? Watoi. Like unapata sijui ilikuwa inaitwa nini, the thing yenye ilikuwa inakangwa hapa mbele. Baby carrier. So unapata the baby is loaded na do.
Okay.
So naona hiyo venye nasema like ati mama mboga akai kubeba like mita 6. Kitambo nani angesema mtu angebeba hizo do hivyo. Though watu walichangamka wakajua. So unapata mtu anashikashika mtoto. Zimeishia.
I think for me on this platform we've had the conversation about how people were so vulnerable.
Thank you.
To the church. And we've had that conversation mpaka tumechoka. What is it with kama uko na shida ya pesa, why can't I go to a financial consultant and be like, hi, nimepata 6 million.
You're a professional.
What do I do? Why is it that the first person we think about going to, or the first place we think about going to, be church?
On top of it, you're not going to the church at nini. You're going because you believe yeye ndo akona hiyo power ya.
Hiyo answer.
I think
mbona wewe hauna hiyo power?
I think kuna hiki tu like watu wananga si mbaya like wanachukulia perspective like wakienda kama kanisa like ni kama hizo do zinakuwa kama alikuwa maybe amezipata kimagendo inakuwa ni kama zinaenda kucleansiwa unaona. Ndio zi multiply unaona ile. So yeye ana believe akizipeleka church mambo iko fiti. So kama ni kabisa alikuwa afungue boom kana lipuka kulipuka.
I don't think that money can be cleansed. If how you got it is bad, then don't use it.
Why were you getting bad money if you're not planning to use it? I'm planning to get it to use it. So, but notion you're going to the church, we're just exaggerating. If you're taking it to this pastor to do something, why don't you just do it with the God that you're believing in? No, because at this point, this conversation of us and these people believing in
we've had it since the new year.
I know. At this point, we're just doing too much, and you're giving a lot of power, which you're supposed to stop doing. It's just too much. Wow.
I'd really like to know, like, after your person
what will happen.
I know. I'm like, bro, if you use this road, don't go back with this one. You remember those times when even the wise men went to see Jesus and they had to divert. Bro, you better divert. Kwa sababu Holland.
Alafu something funny, like you find wewe umepeleka milioni 6. Pasi tuseme for instance, yeye hata salary yake maybe hata chwani ifiki like 50k. Ama maybe tuseme hiyo ama tuseme basi nafika 100 maybe k per Sunday hivyo. Hata fikiria like kuchuna lazima utafute mbegu, lazima upande mbegu.
Pastor Nganga alituambia huwezi nitumia 500 na niombe familia. So huwezi niletea 6 million na ni cleanse. Huyo ingerudi. No, huwezi niletea 6 million na ni cleanse bila kulipia vizuri. If it's maombi ulisema grandma family sijui mtoto sijui nani, you pay for it well not 500 hiyo hata hizi lipa fuel. So if it is 6 million to be cleansed, you have to cleanse it with karibu 1 ama 500 yanguke. Toa sadaka. Where is the tithe? 10% ni ngapi kwanza?
10% 600 okay.
So unaona toa tithe alafu tuendelee na offering sasa na shukrani. So you guys
sasa hiyo ni mita mzima sasa.
Mita hapo ni
5.
Sasa ishakle sema ifika ngapi?
5 sasa ujaanza kuongelelea. Unajua church si pasi peke yake. So we have ni structure imepanda.
Hata hiyo
toka kwa Asha.
Akule mshahara.
But guys, I'm thinking about it in another perspective. What if this is a cloud chasing mechanism? Peter, sijui kama umewatch nini? Kama umewatch ile documentary ya TB Joshua, like the things we used to see according to the research and according to the video is not what was happening. Mtu hakuwa mgonjwa hivyo, it's just a mechanism. So what if this is actually also like one of those mechanisms where ni pesa tu imeenda just cloud chasing for the church? I mean, that's my thought, because 6 million.
Unajua it's making me remember, you see how we say hapa hivi kwa streets kuna watu wanakuanga watumishi wa kutafuta wanaohitaji usaidizi. Unatumwa, you go bring those people who need the help. So at the end of the day, I'm looking at it in that perspective of imagine wewe it's in a real time, so you've come, you've carried your money, umefika hapo uko like mbona umekuja, mimi niko na 6 million nataka kuona pastor. Wewe utaketi pale
mbele
cameras action lights, huyo after watu wawili watatu nitafika kwako.
The cameras were there.
definitely they're going to be there when pastor
and you tell me it was just by chance
and you're telling me kwa kanisa mzima. You also had your own issue bebana nayo kutoka Nairobi imekupeleka huko. Mbona wewe haukupewa hiyo spot?
Na wewe ndio uko na issue
na yako ni uchungu zaidi. You're telling me this person pastor aliona tu soko ubaya, I'm sorry but aliona this one
maono.
Lazima kukuwa na something behind it. Yani yezi kwa tu hivyo.
We always see mtu amekuja mimi bwana yangu sijui we talk of bwana yangu most of the time and nyota sijui mimi niko na bwana ya mtu ndo maana sina nyota. Lakini leo 6 million, how did you identify? How did me personally from kanisa me in another life.
We will not go there. Let's just be woke.
I know.
At this point, just be woke.
It's too much.
But mjue Kenya kila kitu ni possible by the hata hiyo cloud tunasema. Kuna nani azitaka chacha yake ijulikane juu ya do like si hata huyo pasi anaweza kuwa ameokota tu kitu hivi anapatia madha moja tu hapo anasema. Si enda kuja nazo. Enda kuja nazo ndo tuonyeshe hapa si kwa tunoti kidogo.
Alafu unajua kitu fani ni nili notice kuna pesa fulani pia Bahati alikuwa na show off nayo. Kumbe pesa Bahati kabahanye. Siku anajua zinafungwanga hivyo cause hata umadhe hiyo yake zilikuwa zimefungwa the same. Na yake alikuwa na cloud chase nayo in terms of from bank setting. Unajua alikuwa ametoa wapi but yake anatuonyesha I've earned it from somewhere. But venye zimefungwa at least tumeonyeshwa by the time next time tunaendea pesa tutajua venye zitakuwa zimefungwa. I don't know but cause kama ya umsepi by the way now that I'm relating it sijuzi tumesikia kuna haste may happen Equity ama watu wamefanya hiyo are we solving crime?
Don't say it.
Niachie hapo hivyo.
Let
me leave it. Nisianzie mimi sijakuwa DCI.
Uzuri ndio umesema kuna mtu amekusupport ama
detectives you can employ me. I think outside the box.
Moving forward, Marquette's daughter juzi ametusi watu kwa live kweli. And then I recently saw a video, she's crying and I apologize like Kenyans, I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing, blah 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 blah.
Wow. So with Malisafi Chito, what is happening? What is just happening? Cause unajua ni ngoma moja.
And one thing I love about Kenya, you can do one thing and that one thing can either make or break you.
True.
And then Kenyans are unforgiving. What's Kenyans on Twitter?
Hatusahawingi.
So I'm like, you could have used this opportunity. Ujigrow, use that fame, grow yourself, go for shows, perform your song, da 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 da. But what did you choose to do?
Sorry, let me just let's look at it so well. Look at this Chile came out, Malisafi Chito, in a hit. I'm sure when she was producing it, she wasn't like, I'm making a hit song. That's going to be famous and all that. Wewe ulienda ukatafuta, let me say, your producer, your local producer, na we have to produce ngoma, ndo to make a social media in a hit. At the end of the day, you are actually now in the limelight as this new person who has this platform and everything. As in, you just this new person.
Yeah.
You're now famous. You're now getting these DMs. Atakama, you see, all this is happening to you. And you just didn't know what to do with all that. And on top of it, you don't have your system that is responsible for you. And I'm relating it directly to this Chile. Pour me water. Na. She's produced one song.
Grammy, bro.
One song. Davido mwenye ametutolea ngoma from he's out of the picture because of one song. Now all this is happening because of the management and the person you have. Mwenye so I feel like that's what you're lacking as Kenyans. Unapata as much as Malisafi Chito ingetokea at least hata kuna producer mmoja angekuja tu amshikilie mkono hivi ndio tutatembea. Hata hizo wiki 2-3 unamwambia, so I'm not taking you through this journey entirely, but tutaona vile kunaenda. If it goes on well, good. If it doesn't, I'm not carrying you. At least angekuwa amshikilia mkono na mwambia what to do with this fame. What do you think?
Kidogo ni siku cut off like kuna kitu inakuanga funny like unapata ukiwa upcoming kama artist hivi. Bado kuna zile fears like unaogopa msee like akikuja kunishikilia.
Na kusafisha.
Anaweza kuja kuniosha. Anaweza tumia maybe hiyo fame yangu kuniosha. Maybe ile do yenye naingia bro ananitoka. So siwezi mjudge sana though. But hiyo kukua fame for a few days alafu tena na unapotea si mzuri, bedhe si fiti.
And once umepotea, I don't know what happens. We rarely hear of you.
Tunakusahau.
And I get this point in management, but I feel like kuna your personal responsibility. You can't afford to be that vulgar, that abusive to people who have supported your music. Hata see, even not only supporters, even just any common decency. Uizingia to level nanza kutusi watu. I feel
like it came from some. It just personally.
Of course, kuna kitu ilimtrigger.
Look at every other person or any other social media content creator, any other person here on social. Just go to their comment section and all that. You're going to find all these comments and all these things you're dealing with. And at the end of the day, I'm sure we loved the song, but you don't know what she was getting on her end. Maybe on her inboxes and all that. Alafu, you used to your phone, you're just chatting with Chela and I don't know who. And now you're getting all these DMs, your phone can't stop ringing. You remember even when Azad blew up?
Yes.
When she blew up, her phone was going crazy. And what happened is, her phone was taken away from her and everything. As in,
hadi namba tulipewa by the that time.
That's why it was blowing. So her phone was taken away from her and everything. So as much as you had started seeing it, you're not now dealing with it anymore. It's gone. Now, this is the headspace. Let us deal with this. Who is this calling? Blah blah blah. Cut. No. Business. Good. Let's go. Kumanisha alikuwa na support. Sasa hii, you can imagine, you're actually getting this directly to you. Who's there to tell you? Usisikie vibaya, even though this is social media and this is how it goes. Because you can imagine if say you post something, you get 2 negative comments, you're like, video down, and you can imagine if it blows up. It's everywhere. How are you going to be dealing with all that? It's usually, I feel like at the end of the day, she got something which she didn't know how to handle.
She didn't expect it.
And she was shocked. No one was going to tell her, like, this happens, relax, this is how we are going to get through it. Mi nasema, as much as management inakuanga na story mingi na kuoshana, I feel like angepata management yenye ingemshikilia for today na tomorrow. By the time tunafikiria huko mbele ati tunaoshana ama tochi. Because I came also to realize some creators mnataka mkue relevant and you get all the benefit. This manager is doing something. Their role is just not sitting there and not getting anything. The manager, I'm doing something for you. I have to get, this is my job. I have to get something in return. So at the end of the day, we always want to get and get and get and get and get and get and get. And we never really realize that the manager is actually doing something. Hence, we end up separating with them, not knowing their benefits. But angekuwa na mse ama support system au mabeshti tu wenye wanakushikilia, like, it's gonna be okay. It will have been much, much, much better compared to her being you and your TikTok and your phone and you're dealing with all this on your own. I feel like I understand that because we know Kenyans. If you decide to come at you, bro,
hey, bro,
you better have them for it.
Bedhe hapo kwa advice bedhe mtu like kama hao wasanii unahitaji bedhe advice si kila bedhe wa Kenya uongea kama unaweza post kitu hata ya kufala. Lakini unapata the comments zinakuja usipokuwa ati si unaweza kuwa ukiweza kuwa hardcore tu kidogo tu unasema tu ni wa Kenya tu, like una wa Kenya wanaongelelea anything and everything. So wewe ukitake it personally wewe hauko.
But I feel like I will insist. I understand your point of management and everything, but hata wewe mwenyewe nisemaje,
human decency.
Love yourself kidogo tu, respect yourself kidogo.
Why nakwambia the respect Shalina natufunzanga kwa hii show. Tutatokanga hapa changed and transformed.
Because imagine the opportunities angekuwa nazo had she, if this would not have happened.
True.
The girl was going places. But the lady.
I feel like that's the same case nata Kaveve Kazoze.
Wana mwingine sijui alipotelea.
She was to go. In my opinion, she was to go.
Like, but siniliona nani amemshikilia like for a couple of days. So unko like niliona.
Unajua, hiyo ilikuwa inakupea tu ile cloud ya the next day. It wasn't like long term. Look at it so well. Ati ana hang out na Manzi wa Kibira. Manzi wa Kibira anajua nini about music production. So kubaya. I'm just saying.
Ni kweli
Alafu, you got this ka fame tu kale ka by the way. And you did not like mnasema Kenya nasema tu hiyo guidance you have this, how do you get to do better with it, how do you let's look at it vizuri. So just came out akatupikia my husband kesho people are liking her content, kesho kutwa I feel like she has a very good management because her content is just inatu keep on toe. Why are we still talking about her? Na hii kitu yenye ingekuelisha kitambo sana, unaona. And if you started this alafu unajua at least it's not strategy my husband at least picking it's easier. You can imagine you just me say tuanze kutoa ngoma alafu to hit
what next. And the thing with people, they will always expect something kama hiyo or better.
Kazi angeenda tupigie ingine cash crops juu za wapi ama nini at least as no hata collabo nini at least angekuwa nako ka guidance kadogo. As much as me personally in it was for 2 minutes, I'm not hating because apparently she was asking if you call her for an interview, how much are you paying me? Why am I paying you for an interview?
And this is the answer I'm giving.
And you don't even have, I don't
know. Hata wewe ndo una brand
like more followers than you. And you're telling me I pay you for an interview. I'm not hating or anything, but she was there. Why are you even nani amekuambia, nani amekudanganya as you as an artist going for an interview is someone taking advantage of something? That's not it. At the end of the day ungekuwa umeenda umeshare something that would have gave you the next thing to be relevant about. Kuna hii interview msi alisema hii unapata ina trend, kuna hii interview alipiga alisema hii unapata ina trend. What kind of interview do you unaonanga anafanyanga? What do you even remember even after the song? Nothing.
So where is the problem? Management.
I'm not saying the problem is the management because at the end of the day, I feel like if I get to hit right now because of something, it will be my responsibility to come and approach Charlene and ask Charlene, what am I going to do with this? Yo, Peter, what do you think is going to happen? Peter, because your headspace is now more clearer compared to mine because it's having all this to deal with. Unaweza kwa like, can you get you a management or can you try and figure out sisi wenyewe? It's upon you to take that initiative of ngoma yangu imehit, acha nionekana pigia umsanii tu anisaidiaje, ama this and this person anisaidiaje. At least you seek the guidance. Just don't sit there and make merry because the sun is shining. Tenda chini bro. What are you going to be doing?
Alafu kuna kitu mnasahau like kuna kakiburi fulani mtu akishika do fiti. Like ukiweza shika do vizuri leo, like endi leo upatiwe kamilioni ngapi?
Money will change.
Hata asingepewa hiyo sita moja tu.
Nakwambia kiburi inapanda.
Peter, what you saying is true because kuna quote naonanga, if you want to know someone really really well, give them power, give them money. You will be so surprised, you'll be so shocked.
Sure.
I know that's so true. You remember, I don't know where did I hear this? This person was sharing akisema, it was Bishop Harrison Nganga. You know that. So there's this guy who posts his clips and editing. You know, as a preacher, it's usually so exciting to hear his preachings. But anakuanga tu jokes tamu hapo katikati. So he posted this time akisema, if you're a lady and you have this man as your husband and he doesn't have money yet, my friend, bado usishikilia ati my husband bado, because this man might get money and he might just change or be become a new person, and at the end of the day, you might also decide to get a new spouse after, because we will call the patient one, and that happens. True. So alikuwa anatuambia in a real sense, even if you're married to someone and you're at that struggling stage, the man is bado hajapata don't usikwe na ukibaria he's working because at the end of the day if you point akutoke, what are you going to do?
Peter, does it apply to all men? No.
I think si wote. No, si wote. Si wote. Si wote wanashika kiburi bedhe wanaume. Dem, mimi na believing dem akiona chali yake maybe ana struggle bedhe, kama umetoka naye kwa scratch hawezi kuacha bedhe. Wallahi. Mimi kitu najuanga bedhe madem, sijui kama mniambia kama ni kweli ama uongo. Dem akishika hata sijasema anything. Ati dem akishika do huwezi mwambia anything. Ni kweli?
Mimi huwezi niambia. Just like listen. You want to say that nikipata pesa nitakuwa proud.
Like unapata inapply pia kwa men, like class unapata ile maybe mamori wenye ulikuwa na chill na wao. Bro, unajua na kusumbua nini? Yes, hiyo ni normal, but kuna ile unapata ile ka respect ulikuwa unapea wase fulani walikuwa na kuokolea. Imeisha juu pesa iko naona zile maybe favors zenye walikuwa nakufanyia fanyia hivi. Yes, ndo utachoka, si tunaelewa utachoka, lakini kuna venye kiburi fulani ya do, sijui ni kwa nini pesa.
I think how
most women sijui
most men
nataka tupigane.
can you back me up?
What do you
Let
think?
me tell you. Actually, okay, since you don't have money, I have money. When I get more money, of course I'll be chilling in different places. Maybe I could still can afford your place when I didn't have more money. Now that I have more money, I can afford maybe to chill in a higher end place. Of course that will change. And what happens in a high end place, you also meet other
High-end people.
You understand?
All right.
So of course in that aspect it will change. Now this is what makes the difference. When you still have more money, will you stay humble? Will you still remember that, hey, I have friends?
Hapo ndo
Wenye
naongelea.
bado hawajafika.
Hapo ndo
wenye
niko mimi
umefika.
sasa hapo.
But umesikia point ya high end. I hope umesikia hiyo.
Hapo ni kweli. Yes, ukishika do by the lazima inasemekananga ati ukienda kwa Roma unakaa kama wao, si ndio? Like unajaribu kukaa na situation yenye huko, kama uko na do unakaa na wasi wako na do. So sasa kama una
Stay in your lane.
But then ni funny, it's kind of funny, na sijui ni kwa nini ina happening most of the time. Unapata bana wale wase ulikuwa nakaa nao hadi wanalia huko, wanasema huyu ule alikuwa boys wetu.
Yeah.
Lakini sasa boys anawatenda like zile favors mliko ama zile vitu mliko mnafanya back then zimeisha.
I think mtu akipata pesa, it's very hard to find a balance between now I'm in a completely new world and the world yenye nimeacha is also a different one. So people most of the time wanashinda kubalance, so they end up going with where they are currently, forgetting where they.
Wow, sawa.
Where were you when I was getting the money?
Oh. Hey, Candy, no.
I'm asking this thing. Sorry,
Candy,
guys. What I mean is let me explain.
Sikiza venye nakuuliza.
Simache kunijudge.
Nikuulize hivi. Tuseme tulale leo, kesho niko na homa ingine noma. Si ndio? Hata sitoki kwa bed.
Wewe ulikuwa wapi
nikipata homa?
Very good.
What I mean is how I like rolling is if Charlene, we're here, we're working. Sindio? I am si ni mabeshte. Sindio? When I'm working on something, sieki like private, nataka pia kuna work on something. You getting? Kumaanisha hiyo ndio inatufanya tunakuwa mabeshte. Uwezi niambia ati saisi ni mabeshte, mimi na try kufanya kitu nijijenge. Wewe uko tu like fiti. Sindio? Ama we are working on something to try kujijenga. Pitako, girl child. Mnajituma siku hizi, girl child. Mnajituma siku hizi. Then at the end of the day, you expect that when you get forward, tutakuwa bado tunatolerate girl child. Ulikuwa unatuambia tunajituma. My opinion is, if I'm working hard on something, I expect you to be also working hard. Maybe on the same thing or on what you're working hard on. Sindio? At the end of the day, when my doors start opening in Amanisha, you have been working on something. Now we are also trying to open your doors. Sindio? When everything is going good, as in tuna progress sisi wote. You getting? That's why I usually tell people, never feel guilty for leaving some people behind. At the end of the day, if now we are on stretching, it's a workout, we are stretching, tuanze mark time. We start mark timing. Then we're like, now tunaenda mbio. Alafu tuanze start jogging. When by the time you start jogging, wako like, me bro, I need to stand. Unaona? By the time wewe unasema you need to stand, hapa hivi tumeanza jogging. By the time you know it, we are running, tuko mbio, we bado ndo unaanza kujog. Kumaanisha, if you feel like this space is going too fast, try and communicate. Let's try and move. Sindio? Unaweza kwa like, guys, let's slow it down, but not stop entirely because you are not keeping up. So my opinion is, I'm not asking you solely no buyer. I'm just asking it in that perspective of, if I'm actually making a step on something, why are you working on something too, so that you're making the steps together? Let's give an example of the three-man army. Three-man army. This Dante guy.
Yeah,
amepata more opportunities and all that. But walikuwa na work on something as a group
As a
before
group, yeah.
This person was doing his thing, this person was doing his thing, this person was doing his thing, wako like hey bro, tukifanya pamoja tuna it's working. They started their content of shirtless blah blah blah, started picking more opportunities. Now they're doing very good podcast, which is sindio.
Yeah.
When Dante got this job at Energy Radio, he was like, bro, I'm not coming alone. Kumanisha, you have been working on something. So at this point, mbona umuki peke yako? You're mokering with these people. That's why I'm asking, where were you? If they were not working together, ama they did not have these agreements of our collaboration, then ingekuwa issue. So they'll rather get it as a group or lose it. You getting?
Yeah.
And that's so clear. So don't judge these people. As me personally usually say, if you're ready to be the builder, be there and build. When they umoka and they say it's no longer you, bro.
So nataka kusema mimi nikikuwa fundi nyinyi mko watu wa mkono. So like nione mnafanya.
I feel like at the end of the day, if wendo fundi, sindio, you are the one making. At least I'm adding something. Be check design takafiti and it's working. Unaeni mtu wa mkono. That is actually making sense. Unaona?
Yeah.
Rather than wewe ndo ufikirie, ufanye hiyo kazi, ujenge, mimi inakaa fiti. Kesho kutwa, you just don't want this person who's saying inakaa fiti. We're supposed to move.
Oh, but they hapo unaweza bedhe sema ni ukweli juu. Kuna venye bedhe hata wewe unaweza kuwa na wasi. Mnafanya something ama mko na ka project fulani. So in that project unapata kuna mmoja anapiga bidii sana na kuna wengine maybe wame relax juu uko. Sinajua like unakumbukanga tukua shule mko group discussion kuna that one person asipokuwa kwa hiyo group nothing will go on. Yeah. So like hapo najua mnasema team yani team you work si ndio like isikuwe ni kitu ati ya mtu mmoja like ni ana push na hao wengine wanaongojea tu kumeza like watafuniwe wameze. Ni funny yeye ni kweli nimekubali.
But for me
I was coming for you actually. I'm like, Charlene, you're so silent. Yeah, what do you think?
I do agree. But we have different races, Kendi. Now, for example, you have a circle of friends and say 5 of you are working and 1 is not. You cannot say that this person is not working because they're lazy. You don't know, maybe they've really worked hard at looking for a job na hawajapata. So if you choose to leave that person behind ati kwa sababu na your assumption is mbona una kazi mpaka sahi and we graduated at the same time.
That is wrong.
That is wrong. You never know why someone is not getting to the level you are getting. The doors open at different times. Opportunities come at different times. I understand that aspect, but before you choose to leave someone because you think they are moving too slow or they're not moving at all, you have to do your due diligence. Yeah? And ensure that enyewe awa wame choose to your life, they don't want to do that anymore.
Thank you.
That is my take.
Thank you.
Due diligence.
That's why I said we can slow down.
Yeah.
We can, like, I'm not saying at the end of the day, if you need more, okay, see me, what I've just explained.
Yeah.
This thing, at the end of the day, life won't stop. Sindio, ama, is it okay that sasa si wote tuanguke and then we start over?
And I also like, you don't even have to slow down for me.
Thank you.
I will pick it up.
Yeah, so what you're doing, you're making sure you're not lost. As much as you're going fast, we are making sure, you're coming and you need, what are we giving? No, you're getting the support you need as you're coming up. We're not just dropping. We're just not dropping you because we're dropping you. That's not the case. Case in point, these musicians, this group X-Rays, Uduamuranga, they had a third guy with them. Say X-Ray is okay where he is, ukiangalia social media. Uduamuranga is still making music. But this particular guy, mbona ako on the streets, sindio? And him being on the street is a drug junkie. And people now are saying, oh, hamkufanya poa kuacha uboy nyuma. Why are you saying ati hamkufanya poa kuacha uboy nyuma? If, for example, case in point, we hear these cases of these TikTokers. Of late, for you to come up Araka, you're working as a duo. If you work as a duo, Charlene, you can imagine you're supposed to do something. Kendi, let's do this thing tomorrow. You're like, okay. Then that morning, I'm like, I can't make it. Sindio, you have tolerated me. Okay, tomorrow it's okay. Let's, for the first week, the second week. After some time, you realize I've been calling Kendi and I'm like now pushing her for us to do this thing. And she's just not doing it. Later, I start complaining when you've taken action. Is that fair?
It's not fair.
Thank you. That's the thing. That's the thing. At the end of the day, if you're slower but you're coming, you're not like, I may give up, I'm going to sleep. bro, after you've given up house tunakusaidia aje tena. But if you're like, yo bro, acheni mimi napumzika nikikam, it's easier for us to even check in. It's easier for us to continue pushing. So never blame anyone for dropping others.
Hapo ni kusema yani, first of all, mjaribuni kumsaidia, maybe
we have to
help, but wewe mwenye unasaidiwa pia you have to put like uonyeshe some potential, ndo at least ati isisemekanange unasaidiwa and yet wewe mwenyewe umetulia, yani uko comfort zone.
Exactly.
Na ikuangi atafiti kwa, imagine you kwa mabishti zako, you are the one, wewe ni sina oh, we are going for a trip, oh hey my friend. It gets to a point you also have you're supposed to feel like uko ni kungori. Yeah.
It's good to have those friends who are pushing you.
Sure.
Sometimes you can't push yourself. Na ukipushwa pia pushika.
Songa. Ujakuwa na glue.
Yeah. This week we lost a great artist, Charlie. Yeah. And the madness around that situation, which we are not going to touch on. But one of the madness was the red thigh thingy, the myth and misconceptions. And today I'm privileged to be with people who are from that area. When they talk about the red thigh thingy, is it a thing? I'm
like, where is tunatupa ibolo wapi? How we dropping it?
Yana vile ngoje itupo wapi?
I'm just curious to your red thigh. Is it a hii myth imetoka kwedu? Tuambie kama it's a real.
You know about
because
it?
I'm really
Nani?
A red thigh woman.
No. Mimi sijui hizo vitu. Hata mambo. Baadhi kusema tu kweli sijui. Nasikianga mambo na hizo vitu but personally si believing sijui. Ama ndivyo yenye sijaiona.
Tuambie kenye umesikia.
Tell us the gossip. Yeah. Where's the tea?
Kuna kuangana hizi vitu funny like unasikia ati sijui uchawi something. Like unapatanga some of them zinakuwa ni blindfold watu. Kuna kama hii inafanyikanga ya ziraje bees. Hiyo si mnajuanga hiyo inakuanga blindfold watu.
Nini
hiyo ya unapata mtu amejaa nyuki something. Unajuanga hiyo inakuanga watu.
Yes, ni chemistry tu.
Chemistry gani?
As in ati huyo mtu, I don't know if I'm right, please correct me if I'm wrong. Nisema kishawa but sikuelewa vizuri. Ati nyuki zinafuatanga vitu. Yeah. There's a scent or something they follow. So huyo mchawi quote and quote anaenda tu ameka hiyo scent on you without following. And then nyuki zinakuja. Sasa hiyo ni uchawi aje?
Hata si mchawi. Like nasikianga inakuanga unaendanga kwa hive. Unachukua the queen bee.
Kuna pia hiyo.
Okay, mweka mahali kama hapa. Soldiers wanakuja kuprotect hapo hivyo. So ndo unapata wanasema huyu jamaa ati amerogwa ni kumbe wapi?
But let's look at it. At the end of the day, it's known for a whole hive to move, the queen bee has to move.
Yeah.
If you want to move this sindiol, queen bee tamtoa watamfuata. That's the thing. But sasa wewe, saa you want to tell me queen bee ataamka aone kichwa yako ndio amekuja kulanda. Si ndio? Alafu wafuasi wake ndo pia how as in I feel like
but last year
kuna kuangana ka uchawi kadogo. Me always say this spiritual world is something we can never understand.
And I always say if there's light there's darkness.
Thank you.
Where there's smoke there's
fire.
Hata kama story si true there's something.
There's something. But at the end of the day for sure why do you have umeenda hadi kwa police station umesema ndio hii pesa niliiba then zinaanza kwenda queen bee imeambiwa enda home. There has to be something following. There's something we don't understand.
So there. like kama hii yenye happeningi wakati wa ilikuwa ni maandamano or something. Sijui mwindi mosi supermarket. Watu wakireturn vitu kwa supermarket zenye walikuwa wameiba the day before. Like walionekana kwa footage ya CCTV wakirudisha vitu. So pia like sijui ama inakuanga maybe mtu ameka tuseme hiyo uchawi tu kwa vitu zake, so you dare touch it. Ina trigger your mind. So inabidi lazima there is something utafanya ndo kukukam ama hiyo situation ikuishe. Ama hii story na kukula pia nyasi sijui sijuangi like hizo vitu.
That's directly related to the spiritual one. But let's get back history ya red thigh. Personally, the fact that it's genetic. That's one thing I know. It's genetic. I have let's talk about it. The time I was following up about it.
Educators.
That's one fact when you remember, it's genetic. The fact that if your mom is a woman of red dye, as a daughter, you have a red dye. So it's like your family in a
Do
kind
all
of
your daughters get the red dye or
Just one?
genetic.
Everyone?
It's every person. It's like
Every daughter.
it gets to every daughter. That's the thing. That's why how they come and put it. Familia, unajua how in the village they go, familia ya wale na wale. Never even go close to because you saw what happened to the moment you get pregnant, blah, 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 all these cases get to happen. And another thing I know about a woman with a red dye is you can never get to, let me say, settle. You can't, if you're seeing me, I am a woman with a red dye, you can't have a baby with me.
Oh, kwa nini?
The moment I get pregnant to get to have a baby, you get to die. Mysteriously. Meaning, you're settling down of love and everything. That's not, you can't experience that. All I can experience is a fling kind of relationship. I'm benefiting financially, blah, 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 blah. But anything settling down, done. So that's the thing. And then the red thigh thingy is always not at your thigh is going to be red.
Oh, it's not physical.
It's not your thigh being red. Apparently they say it's a mark or something. It's like up in your vulva, vagina. There's iko na ndani or something. Iko na huko. So it's not something you can just see ati right thigh or something. It's not something of that.
And what's it cost?
Na unaweza juaje like
Sasa the thing, genetic.
There's a funny story I read on Twitter, how the red thigh comes about. If someone dies in our family and you have sexual intercourse during that time, the child you birth yatakuwa na red thigh because it's an abomination to give birth to a child or make a baby when someone else
in a funeral setting.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys questions. Let's look at kwanza in the western area with the disco matanga. Watu wangapi na vitu ngapi zina happening huko?
Yeah.
But do you have the red thigh cases happening there?
No.
It's a cultural thing. It's a tribal thing, for example. It's specific to the Kikuyus. Is it possible that it can't happen to them because it's not something that's in their culture? It's not something that's in their cultural books. Ni kitu yenye kwa culture yetu na sisi tunajua.
I feel like, my opinion, those were just the myths that came about to explain the originality of it.
Okay.
At the end of the day, whenever anything comes, after when COVID came, we had a lot of myths surrounding it, trying to make sure this is justifiable, like enough to explain this cause, justifiable enough to explain this cause. But you can't tell me if your family is known of having a red thigh, then apparently you are going to start a new generation. Why is it that this particular family is known for it? Why is it that this particular family can't even settle in one place because they're dealing with all the judgment? Because if you are the wife who married this particular person, then you end up becoming pregnant, your husband ends up dying, then you're like, okay, after some time, maybe you move on to a different man, you end up becoming pregnant, and you're like, you end up dying. You have 2 kids, for example, and that happens to your children. Example. Traditionally, everything has to be explained. And the myths that we got surrounding everything, lazima to may explain, it's making sense, let's move with that. I feel like that's the thing, because if that was the case in terms of you having sex with someone and getting pregnant during a funeral, then every other woman or many people will be women with red thighs.
So it's actually a thing.
I feel like
there's women like
I think the fact that it's there and people will talk about it, it's there. Hii dunia kila kitu iko. Ile kitu utaketivu fikiria, hata siku moja utafikiria kiatu yenyewe inatembeanga peke yake. Utapata siku moja iko somewhere. I feel like it's true. Hizi vitu, the moment you'll find the craziest thing you're thinking about, uko like, yes, iko ina happen. Iko. There's somewhere it's happening.
Yes, nothing new under the sun.
Ai, hizi vitu zito.
Like by then ni funny, like juu mimi nasikia hata stories zingine sijui zinakuwa za jaba ama zinakuwa za nini. Like unasikia ati coast kuna watu wanatembea ngati wako na miguu za punda, sijui. Hizo vitu kichunguza, by the kitu inasemekana sana. Most likely inakuwa ni ukweli. Yezi kuwa ati ni hivyo tu, like hawezi kuwa kitu unaongelelea kitu haikuangi. lazima ukichunguza vizuri lazima iko.
Me have a question.
Na kama iko hata sijui ni nini jumi sijaiona vitu kama hiyo.
Kama hai
Peter umesema you don't believe the red flag thing. If you meet someone na uanze kuambiwa msichana
aliko
will you
sasa like
umesema uamini sina will you proceed with that relationship
but first of all lazima kwanza nijue hii red tie ni nini kwa unajua first
sasa mwalimu ametuambia red tie ni nini
ni ametuambia yes vizuri lakini sasa utajustify aje yako nayo.
That's a good question.
Just
how
nimewaelezea justification is from you check the history. That's why I'm saying it's genetic. You utasema this particular person.
What if it was just all a coincidence?
Why is it a coincidence that you get married to this particular man? You get pregnant when you're enjoying them, maybe for example, and you attract mula vizuri. Funny thing, women with red, they are covetous, meaning they are pretty. You're covetous, meaning wanaume they are coming at you.
Yeah.
Na so wanaume hivi. So if you have a red tie, he comes at you. The moment you get pregnant, he gets to die mysteriously. Kuna zile za at least unaona. Then you end up maybe moving on to another person who ends up dying mysteriously. Sindio? Okay, you have kids.
So case in point mysteriously.
That the case
Am the dying?
Why are you?
Is
like I think okay, you're good, but the dying part is so ni kama unexpected. Like unakufaje tu hivyo. You can't tell me Charlene right now. You go, let me take a nap. Zinazo ni kama hazi make sense. Kuna zile zenye at least maybe you've gone through something, you've been sick, ama something happens. But why is it that wewe you are just so okay, full of life? Apparently now death has just struck you. Mara moja. Where is it coming? And on top of it has happened to you. It happens to your daughters. It happens to your daughters' daughters. You're getting?
Yeah, I get the point you're making. I beg to differ. I listen to a lot of African stories, and there was this one I was listening to. It's a Luo woman. She got married to a Luo man. After some time, she became a widow. Same thing happened again. Married another man. The man died again. So and people are just like, you have a problem. Why are you getting married when people are dying? And from the stories, of course, there's two sides to it. And from her story, surely there's nothing wrong. They were just dying. And now she's happily married. Yeah, you see, I believe in things just happening. But of course, there'll be questions around it. But sometimes it's coincidence.
So the fact that social media, we're seeing that this girl this lady is getting accused of being a woman with red tie. Could that be what is happening? Or is just social media more?
Social media has a way of A, blowing things out of proportion, but B, we can never know the truth of everything.
True.
Yeah? And it's just so sad. I can't imagine what she must be going through. Imagine social media is against you. You're mourning, you fear. You are about to get married. It's just a lot. Peter, would you marry that woman? Yes or no? Mutaenda kufanya research kwanza.
Mimi lazima nipige tu research. Like mimi personally nimeisikiza tuseme ni traditional story something. Like unapata ni familia like tuseme mama yake anazanga watoto maybe wakuwe maboys. Unapata maybe akiwazai wakifika to a certain age wanakufa. Sasa huyu alikuwa anaelezea naming, unaona naming ya majina venye unapata huyu mtoi anaitwa Kamau, Njoroge nini. Like kama kitambo ulikuwa unapatanga, alikuwa anasema in perspective ya Wakikuyu, ukipata watoto wako wanakufa hivyo, mmoja alikuwa ananemiwa Njoroge. Njoroge like ni ku cut off hiyo bad omen, like hiyo ushetani ilikuwa inafanyanga watu wao wanakufa. So ukiname mtoto wako Njoroge and then sijui kuna some rituals zinafanywa. Sasa kutoka hapo huyo mtoto ameitwa Njoroge amecut hiyo bad omen, so the generation after that Njoroge haitakufa. Sasa sijui hiyo nilikuwa nasikiza, nilikuwa na sikujichocha though. Nilikuwa nasoma mahali nasikiza ndo nijue meaning ya jina langu, so ndo nikapatanga hiyo that ka story. So nikaona maybe ni ukweli somehow juu hata usikisikia tu roge njoroge na Kikuyu something related to that, yani rogi.
But for me it's just interesting how in this day and age some myths and some misconceptions still catch up to us. You'd think like right now we're done with all those traditional things. Yeah.
No,
ziko Gen Z hawezi kubali though. Gen Z hawezi kubali.
Watching this documentary guys of how people wanapeananga you, let me say, ugonjwa ya night running.
Ukweli.
You know night running? Yeah. So apparently night runners is also a family thing.
Okay.
But if your dad, for example, is a night runner, he'll has to lazima atapitisha son and everyone. So this guy went to do a documentary like hadi usiku au na cameras wafuata to see how they're doing their thing and all that. Hey, you can imagine kuna part nyingine it was so funny because mwenye nyumba alitoka nje karibu apige cameraman.
Alikuwa night run.
Na cameraman wao kuja alafu mimi
mwenye alikuwa
night run alikuja kufanya kazi yake. Night run kufanya kazi yake si unasumba mwenye nyumba. Mwenye nyumba si anakuja kutoka na maybe na makisu na manini kutafuta mwenye ama panga kutafuta mwenye amekuja kinisumbua kwa nyumba yangu because wanatafutanga and they are always mostly killed. Ndio. Ama they have so severely beaten.
Yeah.
So mwenye nyumba kutoka nje night run si definitely aliona. Yali sure. Nani mwingine alikuwa hapo? Cameraman.
So night running ilisha at that point.
The night runners they come to your house, maybe for example if you're here and then you're hearing them wakitupa mama
yeah.
They're making the noise, they're doing a lot of those things. So definitely if they're inflicting the fear. If you're like not today, you come out with your sword or something, they're definitely going to run off.
Okay.
They know
they're going to night run.
Watakimbia maybe to the house or to the next house. They go hide. They don't go directly home because if you're following them, then you'll know.
Yeah.
So they run, maybe hide, then later they go home. So, they had a camera about, hey, karibu mtu wetu, hey, ni ile tu alikimbia watu, hey, pole bro, pole, this is just not the one. So, ako like, apparently there's a way you tie something and unafunika sijui na nini, then you put it on the door. Then once if for example I want Charlene to be the next night runner, I tie it there. Sindo
kwake
kwa mlango kwa new traditional houses and everything, then you put it at the door. So apparently when Charlene will cross this,
in Nigeria movie,
Charlene will be in real Charlene will become a night runner. You see the let me say the uganga power in it in terms of the ritual thingy which you're going to make and all that and tie it and make sure. I'm the father who has been night running. Your mom and dad have been night running. Now si tumekuwa zebra, we can't be doing this anymore. So you have to pass
like something
you're passing it to the the same way to
what's the benefit of having a night runner family?
Jupia alipata hivyo but hiyo ni mila yao.
The same way my dad always told me in every other family, if your family ni ya wachawi, there has to be
moja
mwenye atachukua hiyo kazi.
Lazima kwani siwezi break that generational pattern.
I think it's the thing. Alafu ndo maana unapatanga if you get to look at these stories unapatanga hata
unakata how
this particular person who was supposed to inherit akikuja ati I'm saved na kuangana a lot of conflicts in the family ati why you mbona unachana na you do this has been it's your calling, you're the next person who's supposed to take this. Sizo vitu zinakuanga in hizo conflicts zinakuanga so big. So in every family if these people are getting old, you have to pass on the ritual of night running. So you'll cross it, the son will cross. And then they were explaining that it's a thing. You see how you get to sleep at night and you're like chilled, but then it's like it's like a spirit imekuingia. So you can't sit until you wake up, you go do your thing, and then you're going to come back and be chilled. Kama umekosa na masusu unajua vile dancing hadi time yenye umetoa ndio I think that's the thing.
I have a question. Josie X Factor. But you really intrigued me.
Na naelezea vizuri.
I should plug that. Nikuulize. So let's say mimi sijui okay but huwezi kaa kwa nyumba na ukose kuja nyumba yako nimetrana si ndio?
Kind of, you know.
Huwezi kosa. Okay, let's say you don't know it's something that's passed on. Sasa and then you cross that thing, you become a night runner. Does your father communicate to you that you have to pass it on? And what happens if you don't pass it on because A, you don't know, and B, because you just don't want to pass it on to your son?
I feel like definitely from our original settings or from how that guy was speaking, alikuwa nasema it gets to you and it gets unaona venye hawaja unaona that unaona venye unabelievingi for example mimi as a girl for example I have to do abc I have to live like this. So that's the thing, it's like inaikuwa ndani yako, you actually get to know, you get to understand this is the thing, familia yenu ni wachawi ama familia yenu ni night runners, and there's a thing that you have to continue. Most of the places unapatanga wamechoma nyumba zao, wamefukuzwa, they live like outcasts and everything. But you can imagine after all this torture, why the fuck are you continuing doing the night running thing? Why? Because it's a species. Thank you. So that's when nilianza nikamwambia this spiritual realm and this whole thing, red dye, night running, boys dying in a family, there's always a spirit behind it. And as much as we talk about this spirit of the light, which we know is also having darkness of late with it, there's this spirit of darkness that is working in its own way, which we can't just explain.
Wow. Guys, for more stories about traditional myths and misconceptions, please follow DISDAT podcast.
And be
sure to bring
research.
The podcast has taken another shift. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say thank you guys for being on board.
It's been a real one.
A good one. Kwanza hapo kwa sijui night running nini. But it has ever happened to me, but then it come to it. No, like not to me.
No judgment.
Not to me, like it might happen like place ni moyo kwa. So there is sijui ilikuwa this guy, I think sijui alikuwa obsessed ama nini. Alikuwa anamkanga usiku, unapata uko umedoze tu hivi, mawe, boom. Na morning ukitoka, hakuna. Like hungepata hata usingizi hata even for a minute. Si hadi wale sijai like but to meet. Hadi makarao wanakuja, wana shoot juu, ati ndo that thing ishe. Yeah. Hiyo sasa si ati kuambiwa ama nini, like ni mwekua hapo. Like everybody anaambiwa watoke kwa keja, like mtoke nje. Waangalie, like ni nani hayuko kwa nyumba. Wakikuja wanaona kila kitu iko sawa. Wakienda for 5 minutes, mawe tena inaanza.
That's what they go hide.
Ni noma.
It's like in our pair.
Hiyo ni mwaiona hiyo si.
Yeah. It's like you have until you
ni mission unafaa ku accomplish.
Yeah. Yani ni kitu kaa hiyo.
So guys, because naona madirector pia ametuambia story time, si tukakula tukaendelea na udaku ya mula mwana Sony tukiangalia Valentine ka tunapata vitu. Yeah. And unaambiwa basically, let's conclude the show tukiambia viewers, if you're not ready for war, don't start war. That's all you can conclude na story ama ni aje?
Ni tu tuseme aje.
If you're not ready for war, usianze vita, utawezana.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's how we get it.
Kabisa.
Thank you guys so much for nimekuwa confused jipe na kuangalia. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode of DISDAT. We'll be sure to see you next week on another episode. Please like this video, share with your friends, and most important, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you on the next one.
DISDAT.
Hey, bye.